Are you one of those individuals who wonders aloud, why am I always broke? Or do you have a respectable work that pays well yet your bank account is perpetually overdrawn? In this video, I'll give you 8 explanations for why the majority of people will always remain poor, regardless of how much money they produce. Therefore, be sure to watch the entire video to learn what you can do to improve the situation. Do you ever ponder why some people seem to be so wealthy while others are so impoverished? In a research on the causes of poverty conducted by National Public Radio, the Kaiser Family Foundation, and Harvard University's Kennedy School, 48% of respondents blamed people not doing enough to help themselves for the poverty cycle, while 45% attributed it to external factors. Additionally, about 39% of the poor shared the opinion of the more than half of the more wealthy survey respondents who thought the poor were not doing enough to help themselves. Despite the statistics, a large number of Americans today struggle with a variety of financial difficulties, from high living and healthcare costs to taxes and college tuition. And other people feel as though they will always be impoverished due to these many obligations. Some people, however, are unable to escape poverty because of a string of careless financial choices they make on a daily basis and unfair circumstances, such as opportunities that are inferior to those enjoyed by the wealthy. Fortunately, there are methods you can employ to gradually increase your wealth. However, you must first identify the habits that are taxing your finances in order to start building wealth. And in this video, I'll be talking about it. Here are the 8 possible causes of your potential poverty cycle. First, you don't save. 56% of Americans would not be able to pay a $1,000 unforeseen expenditure with savings, according to bank rate data from 2022. In other words, Americans often have insufficient savings. They are therefore more likely to get indebted, which perpetuates a cycle of poverty. Contrary to popular belief, you can begin saving without first reaching a certain income level. Regardless of your age, stage in life, or level of income, it is crucial to prioritize saving. The habit, not the quantity, matters when it comes to saving. It all boils down to priorities, and no matter how much money you make, saving won't be easy if you don't prioritize it. You won't succeed in saving until you make it a top priority, whether your goal is a new car, a house, or retirement. People frequently believe that saving small amounts will never add up, but it does. The greater sum you had intended for would ultimately be reached by setting aside a little portion of each paycheck. Obviously, it's difficult to develop the habit of saving money. Practice is required. You are more likely to continue with it if you start doing it automatically each pay month. And keep in mind that your chances of having a financially secure future are stronger the sooner you start. No. 2. You don't set financial objectives. Do you have a future financial strategy? Or do you simply let things happen? The unpleasant truth is that there is a world of difference between someone who lives life as it comes and someone who works with a plan. Even if it isn't the direct cause of your poverty, poor planning might keep you there. You can be completely convinced that you want to get out of poverty and into wealth, but if you don't have a solid strategy stating how much money you want to make, how much you want to save, and how you want to accomplish it, you're probably just counting on luck. A thorough financial strategy for the future is required to escape financial difficulty. Realistic short-term and long-term financial goals must be set and adhered to. Determine your goals for the next day, week, month, or even 5 years and write them down. You need to see the future and plan a practical route to get there. You'll be inspired to manage your money better if you do this. Therefore, how do you create a financial plan? Make a list of all of your financial objectives, including those you've already started working toward and others you haven't. Then order these objectives according to the weight of their importance. Then list all the specifics for each objective, including the due date, the required funding, and the amount you have already saved. This will enable you to develop a strategy and determine what is required to achieve each goal. You can employ a financial planner if you need assistance creating a financial plan. However, there are a number of YouTube videos and online articles that may be helpful if you're interested in finding out how to do it. So utilize these resources wisely. You consistently overspend your income. 3. You consistently spend more money than you make. We are frequently urged not to live above our means, an assertion that suggests a highly practical strategy for reducing financial stress. But in practice, it's simpler to say than to do. Do you ever start anticipating your next paycheck in the middle of the month? Not because you've made an investment, but rather because you're about to run out of money. If the answer is yes, this should indicate that you are overspending. Today, everything is very accessible to us thanks to the internet. It is really simple to make a purchase from the comfort of your home. Furthermore, the situation is not made any easier by social media. 57% of millennials in a recent poll said they made impulsive purchases as a result of what they saw on social media. This demonstrates the significant influence social media has on our purchasing decisions. It is simpler than ever to be persuaded by the glamorous online lifestyles. You want to be like the individuals you see flaunting their flashy automobiles, brand new iPhones, and relaxing vacations. Therefore, you spend what little money you have or take out loans to have the same experiences. As a result of striving to maintain a lifestyle you cannot afford, you are trapped in debt. If this applies to you, it's time to reevaluate your spending patterns. Spend less on whatever you don't need to and start saving. Number 4. You overspend on housing. The majority of individuals always live paycheck to paycheck, which is one of the reasons why. If housing costs take up a sizable amount of your income, your financial situation is undoubtedly suffering. The optimal housing cost is set at around 30%, which is the most you can spend on a home and yet maintain a fair standard of living given your level of income. For instance, if your monthly pre-tax income is $3,200, you shouldn't rent a home that costs more than $960 a month. The 30% rule is a useful generalization, but it is not a set standard. You might need to modify your strategy in light of the various circumstances. For instance, if you reside in a low-income location and the $575/month apartment is just 18% of your monthly salary, you shouldn't pass it up. On the other hand, in cities like New York or San Francisco, where the typical rent for a one-bedroom apartment exceeds $2,000 per month, staying within a 30% rent budget isn't always feasible. Therefore, if your rent expenses are too high, you should think about other options rather than continuing to live paycheck to paycheck. You may relocate to a less pricey area or home. You might also just find a roommate to share expenses with. Give this video a thumbs up if you find it entertaining, and be sure to share it with your loved ones. Additionally, keep in mind to subscribe to this channel for more pertinent content. I sincerely appreciate it. 5. You don't stick to a budget. Your personal finances actually have a budget as their base. You will undoubtedly continue to be financially strapped if you don't have a budget. Without a budget, most people are unaware of where their money goes each month, and managing your money in this way is quite risky. A budget helps you keep track of how much money you spend each month, enables you to decide where to make cuts or allocate more money, helps you set objectives, and determines when those goals are likely to be attained. A budget will always be avoided if you are conscious of your bad spending habits but do not want to be held responsible for them. You won't be able to change your financial status as a result. Even though a budget can help you manage your spending and stay out of debt, few Americans actually keep up with their budgets. According to a recent poll by loan servicing firm UpLoans, 73% of Americans do not consistently stick to a budget. 1 in 10 interviewees also said that they do not maintain any kind of budget at all. According to a different poll, 65% of Americans were unaware of their monthly spending. The least likely generation to be aware of their spending habits is Generation Z. You must routinely keep track of your costs if you want to establish a budget that works. By better understanding your spending patterns, you may go on with better strategies. As a result, be sure to accurately document every spending. Fortunately, there are many apps that can help you keep track of your expenses that you can download to your phone or computer. Make advantage of them, then. Number 6. You're hoping someone will come to your rescue. A door to new prospects may be opened by having the appropriate contacts, but thinking that you can only succeed with someone else's help is a surefire way to keep yourself down in the dumps. Many people think that someone who is smarter or better than them holds the secret to their success. Some people are hoping to run into an old friend or relative who can give them money-making tips, while others are led astray by those who tell them they can use their imagination to attract wealth. You don't always need other people to tell you what to do in order to succeed in today's environment. To assist you find possibilities and build skills on your own, there are many free videos and courses accessible. No one can save us but ourselves, as the Buddha once remarked. Nobody can, and nobody should. We have to proceed. You won't advance in life if you believe that someone must assist you. Therefore, stop hoping that your life will change because of a single person or event. Life doesn't operate like that. You must be prepared to work hard, venture outside of your comfort zone, and take chances. Instead of waiting to find out what you are naturally good at, you have to put up with the discomfort and laborious effort of mastering a talent. Number 7. You lack an emergency savings account. Putting money aside for emergencies should come before retirement savings or debt repayment. An excellent strategy to safeguard oneself against unforeseen financial problems is to have an emergency fund. The danger of losing your job and having to go without a regular income exists at all times. Or you might need to take a trip you hadn't planned for or make a home repair. Your emergency fund will assist you in getting through that difficult scenario by paying for some or all of the expenses. In this manner, you are not compelled to borrow money or utilize your savings. You will feel more secure since you have a backup plan in place. Sometimes people will sacrifice their emergency fund in favor of retirement savings. That's not too horrible. However, they must take money out of their retirement account when a significant expense arises. Your retirement savings should only be withdrawn from as a last option. It takes money out of your retirement funds and almost likely results in fines. For instance, a 10% penalty must be paid if an early withdrawal from a 401k is made. You depend on one source of money. Number 8. For a while, having one source of money might be convenient, but what if you lose the job? What would happen if the company failed or your pay was cut? Relying on one source of income not only keeps you poor but also puts you in a precarious financial situation if anything unexpected happens. Your money can increase more quickly the more sources of income you have. Having many sources of income makes it much simpler for you to achieve your financial objectives since it allows you to earn more and get there faster than you would if you just had one. If your present wage is not enough to cover your expenses, you might think about looking into alternative employment options. For instance, you may begin a side business such as blogging or video blogging. Stocks or real estate investing are also options. Alternately, turn yourself into a freelancer and look for lucrative jobs on websites like Upwork, Behance, Fiverr, and a host of others. You've likely heard the proverb, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." The theory behind this is that you should diversify your sources of income to guarantee that you don't lose everything if something goes wrong with one. Because of this, if you just have one source of income and something happens, it will be devastating for your financial situation, and you may need some time to recover. Well, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Do you agree with any of the arguments made in this video? Enter your ideas and experiences in the space provided below. It would be great to hear from you. Otherwise, I want to say thanks for watching and to remind you to share and like this video. Have a wonderful day till we speak again.